by playing Scramble. But before that, I'm delighted to have a full circle moment here on The Breakfast Show. It doesn't often happen, but so delighted now to be rejoined by Phill Bloxham. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back. I love talking about skimming, so I'm always up for it.
Yeah, you were with us when it must have been 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It was the eve of you heading out to Patagonia because you had been invited to take part in, to be head judge of a stone skimming competition. Is that right?
Yeah, it sounds like a joke, doesn't it? But it was real, and I went out there. It was fully funded by the company that organized it, and they had asked me to come out, so I'd helped them organize the event in advance, and I went there on the day. I had to demonstrate my skills at the start of the show, which is 50-50. Quite often when people are watching, you mess it all up. But it went well and the crowd was impressed. And then I sat on a little raft watching all day and counting the skips as the head judge in the competition. So it was a very surreal day.
I can imagine a long way to go for a competition, but isn't it just so much better when it's all expenses paid?
Absolutely, yeah. I dread to think what those expenses were in terms of all of the travel and accommodation. But for me, I just had to sort of sit on different bits of transport. And eventually I was in Patagonia skimming stones. So it was absolutely incredible.
It is. And one thing we were just talking about it off air is that last time we got so excited about you going off on this adventure that we never actually asked you what got you into stone skipping in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really cool story. So I went to Devon to propose to my girlfriend at the time, and she said yes. And we were just on a random beach. We'd kayaked over to this little bay, and we were skimming stones. And a random woman had swum with a group to that area, and she shouted over, "Well, there's a champion stone skimmer there." And it was in my brain. And 2 weeks later, I just looked it up, and it was shortly before the Welsh Championships that year. So I went along. I did really well. I did better the next year. The following year, I won it with a skim of about 140 meters, which was amazing. And I think for me, obviously the goal is to win these competitions, and we all want that, but it's more about the vibe and this atmosphere. You've just got such nice people who are just there to have a great day skimming stones. And I think that it's that buzz and the excitement of just being there that really does it for me.
That's amazing. A random woman got you an expenses paid trip to Patagonia to become the head judge. That's quite the journey.
Yeah, and she's got no idea. I'd love it if she heard this and she contacted me and said, "I remember some guy on a random beach in Devon. That was me," because I'd love to thank her. Yeah.
And then, so you made it to Patagonia safe and sound. Your Instagram became awash with wonderful landscapes, beautiful lakes. Give us a bit of insight then as to what the area was like.
Yeah, I mean, I'd heard that Patagonia was beautiful, but the lakes were amazing. And all of the lakes look like the sea because they're so big, but there's mountains in the background as well. So it's so picturesque, and it was sun shining the whole time. And if you just imagine a stone skimmer's dream location, that's all it was. Everywhere I looked, there was a mountain behind a lake. It's called the Lake District of Patagonia. And it's just incredible. Everywhere I went was beautiful. There were lizards all over the place. It was just exactly what you'd expect.
Your Instagram of you throwing these stones through the lakes, and there are some perfect, you gave us examples as to some of the stones that make a perfect skimming stone. They seem to be plenty of them there as well.
Yeah, so actually the places that I went to didn't have very good stones, so I struggled to find amazing stones, but the competitors had found them at different beaches. So next year, if I get to go back, I will look for stones in different places because they are really good when you find them.
Yeah. And give us a bit of insight then as to the people, the culture, and the immersing yourself into.
So we've definitely got some kind of slow internet going on here, but I think you've asked me about the people and the culture. And the people were just so friendly and incredible. Everyone I met was really, really friendly. And it was just a pleasure to hang out with them. And I do genuinely miss the people that were there, both the competitors, the audience. And I mean, the audience at the end of the event, they flocked to me and they took selfies with me. They asked me to sign their stones. I was treated sort of half the time I was treated like royalty, and the other half I was just treated like a celebrity, which was such a surreal event for me. I didn't expect that at all. And they were just all so friendly. And the culture out there, I mean, obviously I was on the stone skimming part of the culture. It's just amazing. It's exactly like the Welsh Stone Skimming Championships. It's a bunch of lovely people just there to have a nice time. It's really, really good.
And they saw you in action. You had to show off your skills before the competition. A match for you and the stone skimmers here in Wales?
The difficulty was they didn't have very high quality stones, and the lake was a little bit ripply, so they had that to go against them. So the actual skimming wasn't as good as we'd see in the Welsh competitions, but I'm confident with the right conditions and stones, it would be a much closer call. So I would love it if somehow they all came to Wales, some rich person came and funded that, so we could really see how well they can do, because there were some really good skimmers.
That would be great, wouldn't it? The Patagonia Championship Mark II taking on the Welsh champions, and treated as a celebrity, and people getting selfies with you. You're going to be remembered by those people in Patagonia, but you've got your sights set on being remembered and found out.
Yeah, so I've got a few things lined up. The things, so I've always got some things that are guaranteed and some things that I'm just hoping to achieve. So the Welsh Championships are coming up in May. If anyone wants to learn more about that and come along, just message me on Instagram. You're so welcome. It's a great day out. And then we've got the World Championships in September, which I always go to. And then we've got the Berlin Championships in September, which I'm also hoping to go to. And then I've had my sights set on breaking the world records officially for the last few years, because unofficially I've already done it. And it would just be amazing to update those world records, both for myself. I mean, having a world record officially would be incredible. It's really cool, isn't it? But I also just think they're quite old. And I think the world has moved on since then. And I want to bring those records up to date so that the rest of the world, and particularly the youth of today, who I see some incredible potential, you know, I want them to be inspired by me breaking those records, so that in 10 years, they're doubling whatever I've done and making my records seem tiny. And I think that the challenge I'm faced with is there's been a few technical difficulties with Guinness. So I'm looking potentially to ask quite soon whether there's anyone in the area, particularly Pembrokeshire, because of that connection I have, whether they might be interested in sponsoring me to fast track the application to get that record sooner. Because if I don't get it, possibly someone from America who's looking into it as well, they might take it. And I think it would be really cool to bring that record to Wales.
I think so too. So if you're out there and you want another Welshman to get into that Guinness World Book of Records, then now's your chance to say, I helped that happen. I imagine that the Instagram is the best place to find you.
Absolutely, yeah. Find me on Instagram. I'm always, whether it's to sponsor me with the world record or just chat about the events and things, I am always there. But if someone is interested in sort of becoming part of that journey, let's get moving.
Let's get moving. Phill, thank you so much for joining us this morning, persevering with the slight lag that we have been having. The last word, though, we're going to look at our Unscramble next. There's a bit of a song that's going to take us in there. I couldn't play it for us last time, but I've got it this time. What song do you want to hear, Phill, so we can send you off on your way for the rest of the day?
Please play Jimmy Eat World, This Sweetness, and we'll all think about skimming stones whilst we listen to it.
We will. Phill Bloxham, thank you so much for joining us. That's up next. It's 8:30, and your letters for your chance to win an annual family pass to Folly Farm. That's coming up here on your breakfast show next.
Sponsors of the breakfast